A spark ignites, it starts to burn. Through endless realms, no way to return. From crimson skies to wastelands torn. Myth and legend where stars are born. A million paths collide in the haze. Echoes of heroes lost in the maze. Flames walk in the multiverse. Through chaos and time we immerse. Legends rise and fade like sparks. Across the void we leave our marks.
They added like 3 times the amount of weaponry available in this world. So they set it up so that the tensions would be very high. And then at the same time, there was a parallel cloning project that was going on, focused on, obviously, can you guess the name of the guy it was focused on?
Gary!
Yeah, you got it, buddy. You got it. So each of the Garys was grown in a lab, and there was some kind of defect in them that made Garys immediately hostile to anybody who wasn't a clone. And
Right.
they just kept making them. So
Mhm.
they made like 50 some odd Garys to the point where their observation rooms were overcrowded with them. So what happened was, as they go along, they dealt with escalating violence. So somewhere up in the mid 50s, one of the Garys actually injured one of the doctors. So they
Mhm.
started talking about destroying the extra clones to make room for further tests, and they basically just obviously treated the Garys as completely disposable. So you've got
Jesus.
like, yeah, I know, it's honestly, it's insane. Like, it's I would say that it's kind of impossible to think about the fact that there would be scientists willing to do this, but there are people who are missing fundamental parts of their humanity.
Whispers crawl through the cracks like spiders in the dark. Secrets slither, shadows dance, they leave a bitter mark. Lies wrapped tight like silk spun thin, choking the morning air. The truth you chase, it runs away, hiding where you dare. In the heat of the night, where the fire burns cold, the answers you seek are stories untold, shaped by the light.
Listen. After everybody calms the fuck down.
Is anybody alive coming out of the movie theater? Or just dead people?
Just blood and body parts.
All right, well, I'm going to try to go in again. And if I
All
go
right.
back in time, I'm going to shoot the lock a few more times and see if it works.
All right. Yeah, throw me a d20.
I've got a 3.
So you go in, and this time the force is more pronounced. It's more pronounced. It flings you back around a minute later. So you can feel the whiplash. More, it hits your neck, it hits your back. It's like you're almost trying to go through plexiglass. And the people going in, you're in the situation, you're just coming around the front, and people are going in, the door is closing. A minute later, the whole thing happens all over again.
Can I try to run in and get in there before the door closes and just force my way through?
The
Or am I too late?
Yeah, it's too late. So it flings you back the moment that you're coming back around.
All right,
Boom, boom, let the hollow idols fall.
members deserve much better than we know about Tilly Norwood, and we're heavily monitoring the situation. Like, you guys are unfucking believable. You know that. You're supposed to fight on behalf of us. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be representing everybody here. I realize you can't have a crystal ball and you can't think 20 steps ahead. But you're supposed to have that clairvoyancy. You're supposed to think somewhat ahead. That's the whole fucking point. That's the whole point. You're supposed to foresee of problems in the future and try to stop them. That's why you have a collective bargaining agreement. That's why you went back and forth with the studios. That's why it was one of the longest acting strikes in history.
This is the LP shop, doors are open wide, so come on inside. Find a little piece of history and come alive, turn it up, let your story spin. Every scratch, every song pulls you back in. At the LP shop, doors are open wide.
As a kid, learning to play guitar, I used to put the album on, not this album. There's a Fraley's Comet. It's called Live Plus One, and he opens with this song. And I used to learn. I would try and figure it out and play along to the album. I loved this song. And my buddy, who was a drummer, who I still keep in contact with, he learned all the drum parts on this song as well, with that drum solo in the middle.
So I'm guessing you're like a big fan of the song.
Yeah.
Tell just let's go into it. What did you like about the song?
Well, I mean, of course, first off, it's guitar driven.
Yeah.
Vocally, Ace doesn't push any barriers.
No.
But he's got a certain execution and a way he enunciates and the way he sings that I've always been attracted to. He's not the greatest singer in the world.
No.
I don't think he ever claimed to be, but there's just something cool.
Join the cameraman and his crew. Paint on my face, just a move. We are Yu-Gi-Oh! Club for life. Mark it on my skin. That sign from the campfire glow at night to the screen right in your eyes. Original stories, wild and true. You can feel them cut right through. Bring that spark straight to you. Every drop, every view. Must see TV. Join the tribe, cross the line. Yu-Gi-Oh! Club for life. Say the word, you're inside. Must see TV. From the cave to the timeline. Yu-Gi-Oh! Club for life. Raise your hand. That's the sign. That's the sign. We don't scroll, we arrive, shouting names side by side. When the came-in calls, we rise. Hear that thunder in our cry from the first beat. We commit. once you're in, that's it. I'm the banner we lift. Whole world watching this. Must see TV. Join the tribe, cross the line. You're your club for life. Hey. Say the word, you're inside. Must see TV. From the cave to the timeline. You're your club for life. Hey. Once you're in, I'll get them for life. I'll go, call it out. Hey. I'll go, never doubt. I'll go, side by side. Hey. You did club for life. For life. For life. Hey. Must see TV. Join the tribe. Cross the line. You did club for life. Hey. Say the word. You're inside. Must see TV. From the cave to the timeline. You did club for life. Hey. Once you're in, you're in for life.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. All right, LB, are you there?
I'm here.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Let's do this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Even though we're on air, but I like to do it anyway. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a brand new episode of In Between the Ink. I'm here. Our brand new production assistant is here. Crimson. How's it going, my friend?
Well, I wouldn't quite say I'm brand new at this
No,
point.
no, but technically,
I suppose new to you.
yeah, new. Hey,
I'm kidding. I'm good. Yourself?
I'm doing good. And we can do this without. Let me do my ritual here. The beautiful, the wonderful, the magnificent, the ostentationable. Is that a word? Awesome. It is now. The mistress of lore. Ooh, I like that. The mistress of lore, LB. How's it going, LB?
You know, it's always a good day whenever you introduce me like that. I love it when you make up words for me as well. It makes me feel special.
Yeah. So before we get into it, we're very popular over the over this week, and we have some growls to go over. So let's do that first. So I don't know how many we have. Crimson, how many do we have?
We have 3 today.
All right. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do the growls.
Our first one is coming from an Ifuela.
What? Ifilala?
Sorry, I'm just trying to. This name is hard to pronounce.
Okay.
Ifuela Ajiboyo.
We're
Ifuela
sorry.
Ajiboyo.
We're sorry to butcher your name, but from hopefully we spelt your name right in the notes.
Name is spelled right. I don't know how to pronounce it.
All right. So from us to you, you got a great big bad caveman.
Our second one is coming from a Nico Alivas.
Nico Alivas. Oh, I like that. That sounds like a magical spell. I like that. From us to you, you got a great big bad caveman. And no bad in sight either. So I'm excited for this.
And our last one is coming from a Deden Farfaz.
Steven Farfaz. Oh, that sounds like a mystical spell as well. From us to you, you got a great big bad caveman. So, guys, today we are taking a look at Daredevil, but not any Daredevil run. We're taking a look at Jeff Starski's run, if I'm right. His name?
Chip
That is correct.
Starski's.
Chip Starski's run of Daredevil. Now we're only taking a look at the first issue here, and let's kick things off. LB, let's talk about our scales now. Let's go into our scales, and I'll, as always, I will do the gentlemanly thing here and go ladies first. What's your first scale up?
Okay, I'm gonna start with like the biggest things that I loved about this. My first scale up for sure is the conflict of conscious.
Yes.
Of like consciousness. Consciousness? Conscious.
Yeah.
I can't say the word. You know what I mean though. Just the complex questions that this character asks themselves, because it's not just any Daredevil that we're diving into. We're diving into a Daredevil that has had their whole arc and come back into it.
Yes.
And they're making some questionable choices. They've had a number of things happen, and a huge point for Daredevil is obviously his religion and his faith. And he comes up against a lot of really difficult, hard questions and situations that make you think. And I like that. I like it when it's not just, these are the bad guys, these are the good guys, they fight, they get away, justice is served, that sort of thing. It really does ask you the question of like, okay, what is justice? Are these heroes actually heroes? Like, what's this relationship like with the police force? With religion in this? So it's asking these really big questions, and the character, I think personally, is going through a realistic struggle of faith, a realistic struggle of consciousness. All of this sort of stuff happens in this book right off the bat too, and I love that. I thought that was incredible. And I thought that was a really captivating part of the story.
I am going to echo your sentiments, but I'm going to jump off that. The artwork. Oh God. This is like unlike any other Daredevil story I've listened to and watched in real time. I love the conscience, like you said it, conscience of faith and religion and all that kind of stuff. But it's played out in the weather as well. We see the rain coming down. All these panels have just like muted colors. It's almost like a noir story, but not a noir story. And we see this play out in the artwork as well. Right? Where we're getting a lot of muted colors, we're getting a lot of grays, we're getting a lot of rain. And I think that's perfect for this story. Right? And it's like you said, right? The line between what a vigilante is and what a hero is, I think is very, very blurred in the story, and it should be. In my opinion, this is things that Batman comics should do all the time, but they don't, and that's beefs with the Batman kind of stories. But I love the artwork. I think the artwork plays so well into what you were saying. So that's my first scale up.
100%. That's literally the first thing in my list. So it's funny that you mentioned that, but it's funny. I didn't even recognize that the emotional states are reflected in the weather.
Yes.
And I think that's interesting because I think that really says something. It's setting a lot of atmosphere, and it's not in an obvious way, because I think there's definitely artists and authors that do that, and it's very obvious. And I mean, sometimes it's on point and sometimes it works. But it's something to be said that I didn't notice that. And you picked up on it. And I think that's awesome. Yeah. And I had never thought of that. And it does huge amounts for the atmosphere, for sure.
it's huge. It's so huge, and as a storyteller, we love that. Right?
Mm.
It's just the allegory of the weather telling the story. I love when weather when the atmosphere. This is probably why I'm such a big fan of Asian horror, where
Mm.
the atmosphere can help tell the story without saying anything. You don't need the atmosphere to say anything.
Yeah.
Because it's all about the rain. It's all about the muted colors. It's all about the grays.
Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna jump off of that for my next scale up as well, because while yes, the artwork is beautiful for just straight off the bat,
Yeah.
the artwork is like so gorgeous. There's a lot of full page panels in here as well, with like the start of each chapter, and all of them are just they're gorgeous. They're dark. They don't have like a lot of the time the only color is red and
Yes.
black and grays, in that monotone sort of with those pops of red, and it really, really, really adds a special tone to the
Yeah.
piece. But especially when we have the panels that show the radar that's happening.
Oh, that is
Daredevil special
so
skill.
good. When he's trying to
So,
detect deception and it's not there.
oh god, it's so good. It's so good.
It's so good. Because he thinks he's being screwed with and he's being set up, but everyone's telling the truth and he can't
Yeah.
handle that.
Yeah, he doesn't like, I mean, that ties itself into like he's always been able to have this skill and be able to suss that out in people and read people really well, and the fact that he has to sort of question himself. Like, I feel like the whole breakdown of questioning himself of whether or not he actually, like, spoiler alert, whether or not he actually killed a man
Oh, he
starts
did.
with
He did.
obviously he did. Obviously he did. Like, it's shown in it, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's very
yeah.
much shown. Which I'll get into that in another bit, because that's another scale up for me. But the fact that, I think that questioning of himself and like what he's always known starts with whether or not he can trust what he's always relied on to see, his is his radar. And he's like, hang on a second, this person that I know is a bad man, who I know to be a liar, who I know, who I
Yeah.
know to call out on this shit, who I'm almost 100% certain,
Yes.
did this, is absolutely not lying if I'm trusting myself to trust that sense again.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so I think that's an important sort of cornerstone of how he starts to really crumble and trust, like his trust in himself and all that sort of stuff. Which just as a plot point is beautiful. But sorry, going back to my original point, just how the radar is done and how, like, it's not just the fact that we've got sort of like almost a whole black panel with like these lines running across it. It's the use of lines, it's the use of how it's bouncing off of things.
Yeah.
It's the different speckling and like raindrops out, and how it's like it's just done so well and so beautifully. It's beautiful to look at, but it's also really resonant. And the way that each of those radar scenes is shown as well expresses different states in the plot points. We've got some that are really high impact fights happening, and there's some that are really intimate.
Yeah.
So I that was just like top notch for me. That was a huge scale up for me personally, because if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna do Daredevil, you gotta do that right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For sure. So my next scale up is the Chicago Detective.
Mm-hmm.
I love when someone comes into the story and says, "Are you guys fucking insane? He is a vigilante
Yeah.
and he is a criminal.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. And you know, he challenges all these cops. And I love it. He's played to be the bad, but he's not the bad guy
Yeah.
whatsoever. He comes into a city and he's like, "Are you fucking insane, people?" Daredevil is a vigilante. He's not a hero. He's not a hero whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And like all the cops are like, "Oh, but he's done so good." Like, but he's still a vigilante. He's not a cop. And these cops call him a police officer. He's not a cop. He is a vigilante, and I love the challenge he plays on that kind of stuff. I love the
Mhm.
he challenges all these cops to say, okay, he's not a good guy. He is a bad guy, and he got somebody hurt. Whether you agree with the person or not, the robbers or not, he killed someone. He literally murdered someone. And you don't want it. They're like, no, we don't have. Are you guys fucking insane? So I that's my next skill up. It's the Chicago cop. I love this, the realistic tone and
Yeah.
the challenge that he puts on all these other police officers. So that's my next skill up.
Yeah. Like just as an offshoot of that, it's not a funny story.
No,
Straight up. It's
Yeah.
not a funny story, but it is humorous to me that there's this sort of like this dedicated officer that's coming into this realm, and like you've got a literal like comic book villain
yeah,
as the mayor and like a
And he didn't do
vigilante.
anything wrong.
You know, like
He didn't do anything
it's like you've grabbed this person and dropped them in the middle of a comic book, quite literally. And he's gone, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
So it's not funny as you're reading it, but like in context, just thinking of it, how you've explained it, it's sort of humorous.
yeah,
But I think also what you point to there is, just going back to my first point, there is no good guy, bad guy in this situation, right? Like most, if not all of these characters are morally gray.
yeah,
And I think that's just such an interesting space to be in. Because sometimes, you have stories that you have a morally gray character or maybe one or two. And, everybody else seems to be like, this is the good guy, this is the bad guy, this is the evil guy, like, and that's how you interact with it. But there's a lot of questions that go on there. And even when we get, the superheroes who have taken him out being like, hey, whoa, you need to slow the fuck down. You need to chill out. And then it comes to this conversation where he's finally admitting to himself, like, no, I killed a man. And the response from the heroes is like, yeah, man, that sucks. We've all been there. Like, and it's like, excuse me, what? It's just like you feel safe in a space of like, okay, we recognize this space. We're in the moment where the heroes bring him in and he has a healing arc. Nope.
no,
Nope. Yeah, I think I'm gonna morph that into a scale up. Is just that it I don't want to say that the book flips your expectations, because I don't think it does, but I think it plays with your expectations in a way that's not necessarily expected.
Yes. My next scale up is going to be his level of denial. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. No, I didn't. I didn't kill this person. I didn't. And he goes to all these people and he can't detect. He goes to Fisk and he doesn't. Well, he watches him and he doesn't detect him lying. And he he goes to the doctor and he almost kills the doctor. He strangles him and goes, "What did you do?" And they're all like, "Bruh, you killed the guy.
It was you, dude."
It was you." And I like how that just realization. He's so stubborn that even like until the end, he can't truly admit that he killed a man. And I just love that. I love that in a character. I love it in this character. I love the question, that poses on him. Right? That
Yeah.
level of what is a hero and then what is a vigilante. Right?
Mhm.
Am I really the bad? Yes. Yes, you are.
In
Here,
this
in this-
situation, yeah, dude.
yeah, you absolutely killed a person. And I just I just loved the level of denial. I love the level of like emotion that he went through throughout the book,
Mhm.
the journey. Now is that journey going to continue? That's probably one of my scale downs at the end. But I liked all of that moral ambiguity and those questions of that level of denial he has, because
Yeah.
it's straight up. It's like, no, I didn't. And everybody's like, yes, you did.
Yeah.
So
And I
that's
love
still up.
Yeah, I love how it's like he's saying no, I didn't, not based off of, what's presented to him.
Yes.
But no, I didn't based off of who I am and the rules that I have for myself. It's
Yeah.
not examining and that's, I feel like there's a realism to that for sure.
This would be a great Batman story, by the way. If they were
Yeah,
to
that's
do
true.
something like that in the Batman comics, that would be a great story.
Yeah. My next scale up, and it's one of my last.
Yeah, I have depending on what you say, I have one more.
Okay, valid. So there's just in terms of like the plot and muddling through it, there's just enough flashbacks, I think, to give context.
Yes.
Because I think sometimes with stories like this, you can lean very heavily into the flashbacks.
Yes.
And then it becomes a bit more exposition. And then it also just becomes like, okay, this comic is half flashbacks. What's going on here? Right. Yeah. And this is not an origins story. So having that wouldn't make sense. But I think that there's just enough to give context and and it's done in a way that like it's relevant to the current space of what's going on in the story, rather than say cutting away to give context but not really have it be relevant to exactly what's happening in the plot. So yeah, that's my last very strong scale up. I have one more scale up that's literally just a small thing, but I'll let you go on your next scale up for sure.
How the death happens, it's so accidental and so like just like human how it happens.
Yeah,
like you don't even notice it at first.
Yeah.
You have to go back and like, wait, what happened?
yeah,
And that's, I mean, it totally, he shouldn't have went out and he shouldn't have been fighting.
sure.
And just that's sometimes how it happens. Like you smack your head on against a brick wall and that's it. And I love that. I loved how it wasn't like this huge dramatic like pose and he's like, I didn't kill that person. I like it's just like boom, boom. I like it. And I just loved how it happened. I just love how it's just I mean, it was totally accidental, but he absolutely did that. And I totally love it. It wasn't like he didn't die in a fire. He didn't die by his guts spilling out.
Yeah.
Smacked his head and he died.
Yeah.
So that's my last scale up.
Yeah. I am going to jump off of that for a scale up as well, just because like all too often, I think we have these sorts of comeback arcs and we have a bit of a training montage or whatever, But I think this sort of aspect of like, okay, this vigilante is addicted to the adrenaline and violence, really, is what's going on here. So he's jumping back out into it, where really his body and his training are not where it's supposed to be. They would never be where it was previously. And accidents and mistakes like that happen. And I think like, and the fact that he's like struggling with these like burglars, and he's like, what, like his internal thoughts are just like, what the hell? Like, why is this hard? Why is this fight hard for me? This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, so I think there's that sort of, I struggle to say a sense of reality because, you know, we don't have vigilantes out here on the streets. But, you know, in the context of this story, in the context of this universe, I think that felt really real for the character. Anyway, my last my last scale up, literally, I just have 2 words, and it's Spider-Man and Punisher. And I love that they showed up in this comic. And that's it. That's my final scale up. I thought it was really awesome. I thought introducing them like that was really cool. Having Spider-Man be the ultimate guy who came in to have that like heart to heart. Yeah. I thought that was really cool to have Spider-Man do it. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go to I'm going to start my scale down, the bare knuckle boxing at the end. It's like, you're doing such a good job with this. You are. It should be this coming to Cookie Monster moment where the cops and the detectives are finally aligned. But in the story, all of a sudden we get a bare knuckle boxing fight.
It was so random.
It was like.
Also, like for the detective, it felt out of character entirely. Yeah. I felt like he would have been like, "No, I'm not fighting you. I'm just arresting you."
Yeah,
like,
and that's assault on a cop as well.
Yeah,
that's assault. And Daredevil gets beaten by this jabron. I mean. And that's how he arrests him? That's how... No. Go all the way with it. If you're going to tell a story like this, you have to go all the way. You have to commit. And you can't have these cops saying, he's a cop in our eyes. No. They should be like, yeah, you know, your superior is bear boxing Daredevil, and he's assaulting him. How is he in the right at this moment? There should be no ambiguity. You're under arrest. That's it. And having they're like, no, we're not going to unmask him here because he's one of us. But he's not. No, he's not. Go all the way with it. Just go all the way with it. You're here now. Go all the way. And that is my first scale down.
Yeah. I will. The only thing I'll add to that, which is a little bit of a pushback, is I can understand how. So, okay, in the context of this, Hell's Kitchen is like a traditionally Irish Catholic white neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know, and there's this big black officer coming up from Chicago, you know, like, and he is not accepted by the team. And he's, you know, he knows that there's dirty cops in there. And he already said that coming into the team. He's made no friends. This is sort of a boys club that he's not in, sort of thing. So I can understand there's sort of that aspect of the story there, but it was so random for him to be in this space of like, we've caught the guy, we've surrounded him, and now for no fucking reason, we've decided to actually not arrest him. Yeah. And now you're going to be at gunpoint having a fist fight with it. Like it was so no.
Yeah.
It was a little laughable, which is sad because it's supposed to be like a really sort of intense moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway. I think so. Okay, I've only really got 2 scale downs in this.
Me too.
Great. So there's in this we have like we start off with a one night stand with a lady, and she's not really reintroduced back again.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know if she comes back in later on in episodes. So like, fair enough. I don't know. Maybe she does. Maybe that's a whole thing.
But that's
But
the whole
like,
thing with Daredevil. Like he sleeps around with the women of Marvel. Like that's like
right.
he does that.
Okay. So like, okay, cool. Fair enough. But it's like literally the intro.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, okay. And to me, it's a bit like, you know, like showing a gun on screen, you got to use it later, right? Like as much as I am not the person to compare a woman to an object.
Yes.
But it's a bit like, okay, so you've shown this relationship right off the bat. And it's also something that's like, oh, he's getting information and intel on this thing. Okay, maybe she's a part of this bar, whatever. No, we never see her again. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right. And it was like, okay. I was going to say that like we don't have an awful lot of representations in it. And so to have that one be the only one, but that's not true. We have nuns.
Yeah.
But we do also have like doctors and nurses and there are police women in it and that sort of stuff. They don't feature very much.
Yes.
But I will say it is done in a more like it doesn't feel like I'm reading a book where for some reason there's only a woman that exists in a bed and that's it. So I'll retract what I was going to say about that.
So my last scale down is this very controversial. This is
Okay.
I don't like this character at all. The introducing at the end of Frank Castle, the Punisher. I know there is I know you have to go into multiple issues and you're telling a bigger story here. I just don't like the Punisher. And he comes on, he rescues Daredevil. I know why he rescues Daredevil. I just didn't you're telling the story of denial and coming full circle and I killed a person and all that kind of stuff. You have him assaulting police officers, like grenades and bullets and that kind of stuff, getting Daredevil out of there. You're making it worse. You're making it much worse. You're making it much, much worse. So that's my last scale down. I know people like the character. I hate the character.
Okay,
I never liked one Frank Castle story in the Netflix series, or I know we did the Netflix series a long time ago. I just don't like the Punisher. I'm sorry, guys.
Hey man, I don't like the Batman. It's fine. You can not like characters.
All right.
Right? That's fair.
Especially how he's used and he's introduced. So that's my last scale down.
Yeah. Damn, that's it's funny because like introducing that, the whole scene with the Punisher felt really drawn out. And like he was it was weird. It was weird because he's like, I see what they're trying to do in like presenting these two sides of the coin of like essentially someone who's doing the same thing as a vigilante, just they're killing people. They're not killing people.
Yeah.
Right. and like I see what that scene is for,
Yeah.
but it just felt kind of forced.
Yes.
And so, okay, my last scale down. With that being said, my last scale down is it's kind of small because it is the comic itself from episode 1 onwards. It doesn't really feel like a comic for people who don't already understand the story. It's not, like this. I wouldn't
Right.
say this is like a standalone,
No.
which is fair because it is, Zarski picked up the story. Like he had this idea to go along with it. And he's sort of taken all the context of what Daredevil had beforehand and added onto it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do need, like, I won't say that you absolutely need to read all of Daredevil before you get to this,
Yeah.
but there was definitely moments where I'm reading it and I'm like, oh, hang on, what's that relationship going on there? Oh, okay, this is just something we know about this person. Okay, cool, fine, whatever. But because I haven't read all of Daredevil before, there was definitely some things and some like nuance, I think,
Yeah.
that I missed out on. Because, and I struggle to say it's a scale down because the story doesn't present itself like it is a whole new sort of, it is a new series about Daredevil, but if you don't know the stories about Daredevil before that, you're going to be a little bit lost. Not a lot lost. You can still enjoy it. You can still read it. It's still totally readable. It's just, I felt a little distanced in it not having read all of the other stuff beforehand.
Right.
So small scale down, but still a scale.
All right. So now we have to tip the scales in whether it be down or up. So we're gonna slide it up. I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna put this comic book, this first issue, around a 78%.
Okay.
I am not the biggest Daredevil fan,
Yeah.
just
fair.
like the Punisher. I have never really liked Daredevil. I have never gravitated to any of the stories before. But this is the best one for me out of the bunch. So 78%, 78% on my scale seems like a good marker to be at. So LB,
Yeah.
where do you have this on your scale?
So I'm gonna put it at a 73.
Okay.
And I think that's probably the lowest score I've given this season.
Yeah.
I think mainly
like
because
third.
like
What, we're like 5 points apart?
yeah. Yeah. And I did promise myself that I was going to select a number before you said something, because 100% there's definitely been times when we've had this conversation. I'm like, shoot, I haven't actually picked a number yet. You just pick a number, but no, I think it's a solid 73. It's a good comic.
Yeah, it is.
It's it's drawn very well. It's got beautiful artwork. There's beautiful stuff in it. But I think there are some glaring plot issues.
Yes.
Which really does take it back a bunch. And I know this is also what's taken it back a bunch. And this is like a completely unfair thing to compare. But we just did The Last Ronin.
Yeah.
And the flashbacks in The Last Ronin were so incredible.
Yeah.
That the flashbacks in this felt lackluster. It felt like there wasn't enough of a distinction because The Last Ronin did them so well, which I know is really unfair, but that's what was playing around in my head with those as well. So that's what I got. Solid 73, but in the 70s, which is still pretty good.
And we're like, what? We're 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78. Yeah, we're 5 points apart. That's not
bad.
No. So the screen goes black and it says next time on In Between the Ink. What are we doing next time?
We're doing Spider-Man Noir,
Ooh, we're doing Spider-Man
film noir.
film noir.
I really want to get into it.
Is this a comic book?
It is a comic book.
Okay.
It's so from what I've heard, a lot of people really like it, and it's very much in the same sort of gritty film noir
Yeah.
series.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to get into it. It is also a bit topical because we've got the new film that's come out.
And the new show.
Yes, new show. Sorry. In my head, I'm like, it's TV. I don't know.
I fucking love the new show.
You do?
On
Okay,
Amazon.
cool.
Holy shit. I watched the black and white version. I watched the color. Oh my God. Nicolas Cage. Ah. So good.
Incredible. So
Yeah.
I've heard mixed reviews.
Yeah.
But mostly they've been really good reviews.
Yeah.
So I know for a fact I'm not going to watch it. I'm
Why?
just not going to because I don't watch TV really. You know,
Yeah.
like it. I don't have a TV in my house. I don't have an awful lot of time
Yeah.
for TV, and I like books. I like comics. I like, that's my stuff. That's what
Yeah.
I go for. When I go for entertainment, that's what I go for. So
That's true.
I'm going to get in on the hype
That's
by
fair.
reading the book.
All right. So next time it's going to be Spider-Man. What is it called? Film noir?
So it's Spider-Man Noir.
Oh, Spider-Man Noir. Ooh.
Yes.
Oh, this is great. This is great. I love it. All right. So LB, don't go anywhere. I need to talk to you about the date. So guys, that will wrap it up for this episode of In Between the Ink. Let us know what you thought down below in the comment section. And until we see each other tomorrow, take care, be safe, be well, and a club for life. Peace.
Rumors sizzle, the sparks ignite.
No, just end the show.